fair. So y'all can think I'm a.
Nah, bro.
That ain't fair, man.
Hey,
I'm on EBT, bro.
hey.
That's why.
Just when you thought the rap world had seen its share of headline hysteria, a new video drops, and it's shaking the industry to its core. What we've got right now is allegedly raw footage of Young Thug and Chris Brown going full-on gladiator mode backstage. A clash so savage it makes everything else look like tame sitcom drama. This isn't a diss track. It's not a verbal altercation. This is physical, raw, viral. Imagine two titans in one frame, throwing hands while cameras capture it all. Fans are scrambling. Blogs are panicking. Hashtags are trending faster than an album drop. 1 second you're sipping your drink. The next, you're rewinding the clip because you can't believe what you just saw. This makes the Kardashians' reunion footage look like a PTA bake sale. Every single viewer is asking, what triggered it? How did we get here? And most importantly, what comes next? The leak just surfaced and the world is melting with intrigue, outrage, and popcorn. Buckle up, because you're about to dive into a story that's not just entered the chat, it's hijacked the narrative. It all started on what was supposed to be a calm, luxury-filled night at a private industry event in Atlanta. The kind of event where champagne pours like water, labels whisper about billion-dollar deals, and every celebrity pretends to like each other for the sake of camera flashes. But beneath those designer suits and fake smiles was a tension that even a room full of security couldn't diffuse. Because apparently, Young Thug and Chris Brown, yes, the same duo who once shared studio time, mutual respect, and even friendship, were sitting on a ticking time bomb of bad blood. And when that fuse lit, it didn't just spark a fight. It ignited a viral earthquake that shook the entire hip-hop ecosystem. According to multiple eyewitnesses, and by eyewitnesses, we mean a mix of fans, PR interns, and one security guard with an iPhone 12. Things escalated fast. The first whisper came from the corner of the event. Yo, Chris Brown and Thug arguing near the dressing rooms. Some ignored it, thinking it was just typical artist ego talk. But within minutes, the whispers turned to shouts. Someone hit record. The footage, now circulating across every blog, shows the two megastars nose to nose backstage, surrounded by chaos, flashing lights, and about 12 people yelling, "Chill!" while doing absolutely nothing to stop it. Chris Brown, in his signature fury mode, allegedly shoves Thug first. The crowd gasps. Thug, cool for half a second, suddenly lunges back. The sound of a chain snapping cuts through the noise like thunder. The camera pans, and in that blurry frame, a swing connects. That single moment froze the internet. Within 10 minutes, every platform had the footage. TikTok, X, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. Titles read like breaking news alerts. Young Thug vs Chris Brown, backstage fight footage leaks. One blogger even wrote, "It's like watching two Marvel villains fight over who gets to drop the next mixtape." And they weren't exaggerating. The video wasn't long, maybe 15 seconds, but it was explosive. Chairs shifted, chains swung, security scrambled, and you could literally hear a woman screaming, "Turn off the camera," as someone yelled, "Too late, it's already live." But here's where things took a darker turn. The why. Why did two artists who'd collaborated, partied, and publicly supported each other suddenly go WWE backstage? According to early reports, this wasn't random. The tension had been brewing for weeks, maybe months. Rumors say it all started with something petty. A missed feature, a broken promise, and an ego the size of a stadium. Chris allegedly felt like Thug disrespected him by turning down a joint project they had discussed privately. Meanwhile, Thug's camp claimed Brown had been sneak dissing him on a private group chat, calling him washed and too Atlanta for his own good. Now, under normal circumstances, those are just words. But when you're in the spotlight, where every rumor becomes a headline and every whisper becomes a blog post, words cut deeper than fists. Then came the night of the event, a celebration of unity, ironically enough. Both artists were scheduled to appear, though organizers reportedly tried to keep them in separate dressing rooms. But fate, or maybe just bad event planning, had other ideas. Someone close to the situation says Thug walked past Brown's room, overheard a slick comment, and doubled back. That's when Brown reportedly stood up and said, "You got something to say it." Cameras started rolling before anyone could blink. Now, let's be clear. This wasn't just a fight. This was an ego war in 4K. Fans replayed the footage frame by frame, dissecting every micro-expression like FBI agents analyzing Zapruder film. "Look at Thug's face before he swings," one comment said. "That's the look of a man done pretending." Another said, "Chris hit first. You can see it. It's on camera. Case closed." But the internet doesn't do case closed. It does chaos. The memes came instantly. One viral tweet read, "Chris Brown been fighting his demons for years. This time, the demon fought back." Another said, "Young Thug versus Chris Brown. The crossover nobody asked for, but everybody watched." Meanwhile, the blog scrambled for statements. Neither camp responded. Thug's team went radio silent, and Chris Brown's rep simply said, "We have no comment at this time." Translation: they were probably in a group chat panicking over PR damage control. Fans, however, weren't waiting for press releases. They built their own narratives, their own storylines. Some said it was staged, others swore it was real. And of course, conspiracy Twitter jumped in like always. This fight ain't random. This is industry initiation. And while the internet laughed, the repercussions started to roll in. Promoters for an upcoming event where both artists were supposed to perform allegedly postponed for safety reasons. Sponsors began scrubbing mentions. You know things are serious when even Fashion Nova stops tagging you. But here's where it gets truly ridiculous. Because while the public was losing its mind over who threw the first punch, another clip dropped. This time, it wasn't just backstage chaos, it was aftermath. Security dragging Chris one way, Thug the other, and one camera catching Chris yelling something that sounded like, "He started it." Fans slowed it down, added subtitles, and argued over what was actually said like it was the Zapruder film of hip-hop. Then, someone leaked the audio. A muffled recording, allegedly from a nearby stage tech, caught the moments before the fight. Brown yelling, "Don't touch me," and Thug replying, "I ain't your little backup dancer." That clip alone hit 3 million plays in 4 hours. At this point, it wasn't just a fight. It was a cultural event, a trending topic, a meme generator, a timeline war. Fans who once debated music were now debating punches. "Chris Brown's right hook stronger than his vocals," one tweet read. "Young Thug dodging cases and hits," another added. And through it all, both artists stayed silent, which only made things worse because in 2025, silence doesn't calm rumors, it feeds them. By midnight, fake hospital photos started circulating. One showed Thug with a fake bruise. Another had Chris with a black eye. They were obviously photoshopped, but people ate them up like gospel. Even TMZ had to step in with a clarification. No official reports of injury, but tensions remain high. The next morning, radio shows went off. "How did we get here?" one host asked. Chris and Thug used to vibe. What flipped? That's when a few insiders dropped the biggest bombshell yet. This wasn't their first clash. Apparently, the tension started months back when both artists were linked to the same business deal, and one felt cut out of the profit. You know what that means. In hip-hop, betrayal isn't personal, it's professional. So when the cameras caught those punches, it wasn't just two men fighting. It was years of competition, jealousy, and unresolved pride spilling out in front of millions. And just like that, the internet crowned it. The most viral celebrity fight since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. But as wild as this footage was, things were about to get crazier. Because within hours, the story twisted into something else entirely. Leaks, reactions, celebrity statements, and even legal threats started flying. The footage was no longer just entertainment. It was evidence. And that's when this backstage scuffle turned into a full-blown industry scandal. By the next sunrise, the internet had turned the fight into a digital circus. Everyone had seen the clip, everyone had an opinion, and everyone was acting like they had a front row seat to the chaos. The Young Thug versus Chris Brown saga wasn't just a brawl anymore. It had evolved into a global guessing game. Who hit first? What was said? And most importantly, who leaked the footage? Twitter was in flames. TikTok turned into a virtual courtroom. People were replaying the same 15-second clip like it was the Zapruder film of hip-hop. One frame slowed down, 1,000 theories born. Some swore Chris swung first. Others claimed Thug retaliated after being disrespected. And then there were the ones saying the whole thing was staged. A publicity stunt gone biblical. Blogs went feral. Headlines screamed, "Exclusive. Inside the fight that shook the industry." Commentators treated it like a heavyweight title match. One fan wrote, "This ain't a fight, this is rap history in motion." Another replied, "Nah, this is therapy with punches." Then came the leaks. Alternate angles began surfacing. Shaky clips from different phones, different distances. One showed Chris throwing what looked like a slap. Another caught Thug lunging with both hands. And a third ended abruptly when someone's phone hit the floor. Suddenly, every influencer with editing software was breaking down the footage. YouTube thumbnails showed red circles, arrows, and exaggerated faces. Titles read, "The moment Thug lost it," frame by frame. Theories multiplied like gremlins. Some said it was about money, a split deal gone sour. Others said it was about ego, who deserved top billing at the show. And of course, rumor number 3, it was about a woman. One anonymous insider claimed both had history with the same celebrity stylist. The internet didn't need facts. It needed drama, and this was oxygen. Chris Brown's silence became its own headline. His team posted nothing, deleted everything. Thug's Instagram remained ghost quiet, except for a single photo. Him sitting in the studio, eyes closed, captioned, "Silence speaks louder." Fans interpreted it 100 different ways. Some said it was guilt, others said it was dominance. One tweet summed it up perfectly. 2 men fighting, 1 million people projecting. Meanwhile, celebrities couldn't resist chiming in. 21 Savage tweeted, "Ego undefeated." Lil Baby posted, "Ain't no peace backstage." Drake liked a meme that read, "We need verses, not violence." Even Boozy jumped in with, "Man, this the most Atlanta LA thing ever happened." Podcasts exploded overnight. Hosts turned the situation into philosophy. "This fight represents the clash between artistry and ego," one said. Another replied, "No, it represents 2 dudes who need better security." The takes were endless, but the views were sky high. The memes, ruthless. One had Chris in boxing gloves captioned "Breezy Mayweather." Another showed Thug mid-swing with the tagline, "Slime Season 7, the Hands Edition." Someone edited the clip into a fake trailer titled, "Thug vs. Breezy, Dawn of Drip." It hit 500,000 views in 4 hours. But behind the laughs, business was burning. Brand partners panicked. A luxury clothing label reportedly froze Thug's campaign. Promoters for Chris's next show demanded increased security presence. One insider said quietly, "This fight cost both of them more than punches ever could." And then came the audio leak. A muffled recording hit the web. Someone backstage caught them arguing seconds before the fight. You could hear Chris saying, "You think you better than me?" And Thug firing back, "I don't think, I know." The internet detonated. "That's confirmation," fans cried. "This ain't no accident." Whether the audio was real or edited didn't matter. It sounded real enough to sell the story, and that's all it took. Within a day, major outlets were running full timelines. 10 minutes that changed hip-hop. From collab to combat. Inside the feud you weren't supposed to see. The entertainment machine had found its new obsession. Meanwhile, lawyers started circling. Rumors claimed the venue faced fines for security, negligence. Another whisper suggested one of the artist's teams was considering pressing charges for defamation over false viral narratives. Legal language started hitting the blogs, and fans pretended to be experts in assault law overnight. Yet in the middle of all that chaos, the numbers didn't lie. Streams for both skyrocketed. Chris's old singles were charting again. Thug's catalog saw double-digit boosts. It was messy, scandalous, but profitable. Drama is the best marketing team no one hires. Still, something deeper was brewing. Industry veterans started calling it the fall of professionalism. One manager told Rolling Loud's radio show, "Every time an artist loses control, it becomes their biggest moment. That's a sad truth." Another insider joked, "They fought for clout, but the clout fought back." As fans dissected the fight, more details leaked. Reportedly, Thug felt disrespected after Chris made a joke about real street rappers dressing like models. Thug, famously fashion-bold, allegedly took it personally. One thing led to another, and backstage turned into a battle zone. And yet, the public wasn't tired. They were addicted. Every hour brought a new clip, a new edit, a new angle. Someone even released fake CCTV footage from the hallway. It was clearly staged, bad lighting, obvious doubles, but it still hit 1 million views before getting debunked. What the world was witnessing wasn't just a fight, it was a cultural mirror. 2 megastars, 2 legacies, and a generation obsessed with turning violence into views. The internet had crowned itself judge, jury, and record label. And just when people thought it couldn't escalate any further, a journalist dropped an exclusive. Both artists under review by sponsors. Industry insiders call it career-threatening. That headline alone kept blogs busy for days. By the end of the week, no one cared who was right or wrong. They cared who would speak first. The silence was unbearable. Then, late one night, Chris Brown posted to his story, a black screen with one sentence: "Forgive, but don't forget." No explanation, no apology, no denial. Just a sentence that could mean anything. Within minutes, Young Thug fired back with a post of his own. Real ones don't talk, they recover. 2 sentences, 2 philosophies, millions of interpretations. Fans were losing their minds. They still beefing. That's a diss. No, that's peace. Every blog published think pieces analyzing 7 words like they were verses from the Bible. And in true 2025 fashion, just when it seemed like it was cooling off, the story reignited again. Because now, someone was claiming that record labels were involved. Anonymous DMs circulated saying executives planned to use the drama as leverage for future publicity. One source wrote, "This isn't beef, it's business." It was chaos, but it was gold. Because if there's one thing hip-hop fans crave more than a good song, it's a scandal that feels cinematic. And this one had everything. Betrayal, violence, fame, ego, and cameras rolling the entire time. But the storm wasn't over. Because while the internet laughed and speculated, the real-world fallout was about to hit harder than any punch in that viral clip. Both men were about to find out the internet doesn't forgive. It replays. The internet moves fast, but scandals like this move faster. By week 2, the Young Thug and Chris Brown fight had gone from shocking footage to full-blown folklore. Nobody cared about facts anymore. This was mythology in motion. The blogs had crowned it the Clash of Titans. The fans were quoting it like gospel. And the industry was panicking behind closed doors. Because now, the fallout was real. Reports surfaced that venue management had launched an internal investigation. Security guards were being questioned, staff members were allegedly fired, and legal teams were whispering about potential lawsuits. One insider said, "Everybody's trying to figure out who leaked that clip, not to protect reputations, but to find who cost them millions in sponsorship deals." Both camps were feeling the aftershocks. Chris Brown's tour partner supposedly threatened to pause collaboration until things cooled down. Young Thug's PR team quietly postponed his next video rollout. Brands don't like drama unless they can profit from it. And this one was too raw, too public, too viral. The fight footage had racked up over 40 million views across platforms in a single week. That's more than some artists' entire album streams. But with fame came friction. The more people talked, the more both artists' silence became suspicious. So when Chris Brown finally broke that silence, the world froze. He went live on Instagram at 11:43 p.m, hoodie on, face half lit, tone cold. His words were short, sharp, and calculated. "I'm not here to explain nothing," he said. "People love to see you fall. They'll film you bleed before they help you heal. But I'm good. I walked away." It wasn't an apology. It wasn't even a confession. It was a statement. Part warning, part flex. Fans flooded the chat. Did he just confirm it? Is he talking about Thug? This is realer than an interview. And then, minutes later, Young Thug responded, not with words, but with a song snippet. On his story, a clip played of him rapping, "You swing, I smile, you talk, I file, I make silence go viral." No caption, no hashtags, just the verse. The internet detonated again. The posts became digital grenades lobbed back and forth. One artist using words, the other using bars, each one adding fuel to a fire the public refused to let die. But beneath all the smoke, something deeper was happening. Industry insiders started calling it the ego crash. Both artists were being dissected like case studies in fame. Every pundit on every podcast had an opinion. One said, "This ain't about violence, it's about identity. When two alpha stars collide, the system chooses a side." Another added, "They don't need enemies, their reflections are enough." And while the think pieces were flowing, fans noticed something strange. Both artists' numbers were climbing again. Thug's older hits started trending on Spotify. Chris's music saw a sudden boost on TikTok. Every time their names appeared in a headline, the streams spiked. The drama was bad for image, but perfect for business. That's when conspiracy talk resurfaced. What if this was planned? One viral tweet said, "No charges, no losses, just clicks." Another added, "It's giving PR stunt." Both silent, both trending, both winning. It sounded crazy, but people believed it. After all, this is the internet, where nothing is real until it goes viral, and everything viral must have been planned. But there was one person who wasn't laughing. A staff member who claimed to have witnessed the entire thing. In a now deleted post, they wrote, "I was there. Nobody planned it. It was pure emotion. They were both angry, both tired, both human." That line hit harder than any punch, because beneath the headlines, that was the truth. Two human beings cracking under pressure. Truth. Two human beings cracking under pressure. Two icons caught in the hurricane of fame, ego, and constant surveillance. Days later, a clip leaked of them crossing paths again. This time outside a private studio in LA. No punches, no shouting, just a silent exchange. Thug nodded once, Chris turned away, and the car doors closed. That 5-second moment became the most watched video of the week. Fans called it the ceasefire clip. But make no mistake, peace didn't erase the damage. Both reputations had taken a hit. For Chris, it reopened every conversation about anger and controversy. For Thug, it raised questions about focus, especially with ongoing legal battles shadowing his name. They had become more than musicians. They were case studies in how quickly the internet can weaponize chaos. Yet, ironically, the chaos only expanded their reach. Interviews that once begged for promo now begged for insight. "Do you regret what happened?" reporters asked. "Would you ever collaborate again?" Both artists dodged the questions, giving vague answers like, "Time will tell." And that's the part that stings the most. Because in a way, time did tell. A month after the fight, Thug posted a cryptic photo, a boxing glove hanging over a microphone. Caption, "Music hits harder." Fans exploded. "They're about to collab again." It's a teaser. Or it's shade. Nobody knew, but everyone clicked. Then Chris Brown reposted a story from a fan page with one line. "No bad blood, just lessons learned." That was the closest either had come to peace. And maybe that's what this whole saga was. A brutal lesson. A reminder that fame doesn't erase pride. That talent doesn't tame temper. That the same camera that builds you can also break you, depending on what angle it catches you from. By now, the clip had become part of hip-hop's history books. The fight wasn't about who won physically. It was about who survived digitally. And in that sense, they both did. Because despite all the noise, all the leaks, all the memes, both artists walked away richer, louder, and more infamous than ever. The moral? The internet doesn't destroy stars anymore. It just rebrands them. So while fans wait for another collab, or maybe another punch, one thing's clear. This wasn't just a fight. It was a reflection of an era that thrives on chaos. Young Thug and Chris Brown didn't lose in that hallway. They became the latest reminder that in today's culture, controversy isn't a curse, it's content. And in a world addicted to viral moments, nothing sells faster than two superstars throwing hands. Because when the dust settles, the truth doesn't trend, but the footage always will. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how one 15-second clip hijacked an entire industry. What started as a private moment of rage between Young Thug and Chris Brown turned into the most viral spectacle of the year. Millions of views, endless memes, and a debate that'll probably outlive the actual fight itself. So now the question is, what do you think really happened? Was it pure emotion, bruised ego, or a masterclass in accidental marketing? Because no matter how you slice it, this wasn't just a brawl. It was a business move, a brand reset, and a billboard all rolled into one. The cameras didn't just catch fists. They caught the price of fame, the weight of pride, and the soundtrack of chaos. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think came out on top? And who needs a publicist more than a punch? Go off, debate, dissect, and don't hold back. And before you vanish into the next trending disaster, make sure you smash that like button like it owes you money, hit subscribe like you're signing a record deal, and turn on those notifications. Because stories like this don't just break, they explode. This is the rap truth, where drama meets detail, Rumors meet receipts, and every headline has a hidden beat. The only place that turns chaos into conversation and gossip into gospel. Stay tuned, because if this week taught us anything, it's that peace in hip-hop is just the pause before the next viral storm. And when it hits, you know exactly where to find the truth first. This isn't just commentary. This is culture. This is the rap truth.